Africa, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. So, a bit like Tedza, we get very special spankings every once in a while. Mine are presidential, yours are royal. So I come from a business background, banking. I've spent many years in banking. I actually started in fund management, working for Coronation, then moved to China. I got my second master's when I was there, actually with Stern. First one was with Fudan University, which is the top university in China. Worked for Standard Bank. I'm proud to say I was employee number 5. And we contributed over $100 million to the bank in a period of 2 years. After 7 years in China, came back to South Africa, worked as head of Macquarie Bank's Africa strategy team at a senior executive level at the tender age of 33. And then a certain member of my family went back into politics, which made my life interesting. And as the judge would know, conflict of interest. Yes. Yeah. So I left the banking environment and then went into the family business, and we were involved in property development through Blue Crane initially. The business I had started. Majority of our properties were in McDonald's. We've done everything across the spectrum. We've done residential, retirement homes, retail, we've done all of that. Most of that then got taken out after we sold out of McDonald's and Shamduka into the portfolio for the family. And now I run Blue Crane as my business, and we're involved in ICT projects throughout the continent. Majority East Africa. We have an office in China. I have 80 people in Uganda. We're also there. I'm married into another form of politics. My wife is from, who's actually related to Maria, is from the Prime Minister's family in Uganda. So we were very active in that market as well. Yeah, and that's what I can say. I think if well structured, conceptualized, and ultimately delivered, that can bring real value to ultimately real South Africans on the ground, and I think that's really what we're here for. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Questions, and I don't think we'll address them today, but I think maybe from my end, considering address today, but I almost feel that we should follow the Prof's suggestion and look at what are the burning issues that need to be addressed immediately. What are the longer term or mid-term things that we need to do? And even as we set out that list of things that we want to attack, I feel, Judge, if I may, and I think if I can challenge you with this question, in all the issues that have come through, in terms of whether we're talking about governance at a family level, governance within the structures, whether we're talking about certain things that you want to achieve, whether it's economic and financially for the family once again, and also for the broader community. I think for me personally, I would want to leave today with a very clear understanding. In the corporate speak, they say, what is the ethos? What is the mission? So ultimately, in all of the structures, if we were to look at it, whether it's at a family level, at a corporate level, or at a societal level, the King's message has to be the same, which is what you alluded to. And I think that's burning issue number 1. Because if that is very clear, it creates a rallying point for all these things. And whether people question the trust, or question the family, the king himself, or even question the role of the nation within a South African context, because remember you've mentioned that as well. It is very clear and understood where you stand, and that message needs to be very precise and well articulated. And I somehow feel like if that doesn't come out up front, then everything else falls short. Yeah, so I may. Thank you. I'll give it. Absolutely. If the number 1 item that has to be addressed is communication, then we'll get to the governance part secondly. then my suggestion would be that we can get professionals in place, that's a phone call away from me, who can actually draw up a full media of communications and also internal communication strategy. Playbook. Give them a playbook. And inside of that playbook, all the things have to come out quite strongly. Unity, peace, all of it. Of course, he has to be quite affirmative and say that I am the one, and it actually has to come from him. And then in there, the undertones that have to come through is, yes, we are working on economic development. We are working on women empowerment, etc., etc. And in every one of those nodes, the communications team that you talk about must forward that. So even the general public, when they hear, they say, we're hearing a different message. This is a stronger, vibrant, consistent. And if I may say, from a business point of view, there's magic words my dad likes to use. He talks about new deals. He talks about being open for business. Those things in the mindset of business, which you're aware of, are actually very important to be communicated by leadership, especially at that level. It's not to say that we've worked out everything technically. That will come in due time. But it's important to say that, yes, we are within South Africa, where we are citizens of the country and all of that. But as a nation, we are open for business. We are open to ideas, and we're saying to business, come to us. And there are avenues, as you've already said, with your fund and all these structures that you put in place where we can engage. And I think, especially from a, if I may say, from a younger person, to put that up front can be very encouraging to the business community. I just thought I should add that in there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you're very straight, because I like things that way. So thank you very much for your words, man. And I think I will respond the following way. Obviously, I have access to the highest office in the country, and there are certain opportunities for me to engage with, I'll refer to CR, because we're family now, so I can say I can refer to him. I think the burning issues that have come out clearly in this discussion are just drops of discussions that I'd like for him to take forward with the kingdom. And I'll tell you what I'll put to him. I think number one is there has to be genuine support for his rulership. And I think that support has to be felt from the office. And obviously, we know the ANC itself, the organization, I think has already sent messages of support. But it would be reinforcing to maybe even possibly arrange a meeting for His Excellency with our. So I think that's something I'll put as an action point on my side and put that forward. That engagement may give us an opportunity to also deal with some of the other issues the judge has mentioned, and I think that we would need to very cleverly articulate that before the discussion takes place with the office of the president, so that they themselves can prepare and know how to respond to it. I can say that the